Welcome to Kathryn Raaker's World. Innovation, culture, adventure, fashion and health, artists, destinations, traditions. This is Kathryn Raaker's World.
Here we go. Hi, this is Kathryn Raaker of Let's Just Talk, and I want to let you all know that we have Dr. Neal Barnard and his new book, The New Diet and Plan, that the Power Foods Diet. And, you know, I'm so excited that I looked into this, and doctor, it's really a smart plan. I can't tell you. I think there's so many things out there that you can't believe it. I want to welcome you to my show. Welcome, doctor. How are you today?
Well, I'm doing great. Thank you so much for including me.
Well, I have to tell you, I can't wait to get the book. I can't wait to try the diet. And I actually started doing new shows with healthy food for the summer, because I don't know about Washington, D.C., but it's really hot where we live in the Midwest, in Cincinnati, Ohio. And tell us what's really different about your new plan and what you're doing.
Well, you know, we have known for a long time that there are certain foods that seem to cause weight loss, but the science really hadn't matured until I say maybe around 2015. Harvard researchers did a study that really helped us realize we were on solid ground. They brought in more than 100,000 people, and they found that the more they ate of certain specific foods, the more weight they lost in the future years. Now, that was completely counterintuitive, because we would think, wait a minute, if I eat more of anything, whether it's healthy, unhealthy, doesn't matter. If I'm eating more, I got to gain weight, at least some weight. That is not what they found. What they found is that the more people ate of certain specific foods, the more weight they would lose as the years went by. So our job is to test their findings. They identify the foods. We want to be sure that they really do work. And so that's what we have done. And we call them power foods because they either tame your appetite so that you are satisfied and tend not to overeat, or they boost your calorie burning speed, your metabolism, so that you're just burning off calories more rapidly. Or there's a third thing that's really kind of crazy. It's called calorie trapping. There are certain foods that go through your digestive tract, they pick up calories and they carry them out down with the waste, so you flush those calories away instead of absorbing them. So they have these three capacities, and the idea is to put them to work. And you don't have to count calories. You don't have to starve. You don't have to limit carbohydrate. You don't even have to exercise. Now, exercise is great. I love it. It's a good thing. Right. But even if a person does not exercise, they will still lose weight.
Can you tell me some of the things that you suggest about what foods don't go through you? And this is really interesting, because I started yesterday by doing a healthy salad that was, I thought, really good. But can you give us some ideas of what's in the book and how do we do this? And foods
Sure.
that we're talking about.
Yeah, sure. Well, the calorie trapping thing that you just asked about, that was a breakthrough at Tufts University. What they did is they brought 90 people in, and they asked half of them to have whole grain bread, which has fiber. And fiber, when you consume, fiber just means roughage. And when you eat fiber, it breaks into a million tiny sponges that go down your digestive tract and pick up some calories you may not have absorbed and carries them out with the waste. So half the people ate whole grain bread with all the fiber. The other half ate white bread, which has had all the fiber taken out. It's gone. And so then they actually, don't try this at home, they collected stool samples from everybody.
Yeah.
and they analyzed them for unabsorbed calories. Yes, they did. And what they discovered is that the high fiber foods caused the loss of about 100 calories per day. Now, that's not a lot, but if you can get rid of 100 calories without absorbing them, that's good. And then we can knock off an additional 200 calories from the appetite taming effect and about another 200 from the metabolism boosting effect. So overall, the effect can be as much as you want, but it can be really quite powerful. And that's why people lose weight with this approach.
Let me ask this one question because I can't digest a lot of grains, whole grains. And so what would somebody like myself that has a problem sometimes with that, what would they do? What kind of other grains could I eat that would make it better? Can you tell me that?
Sure. Well, the effect here came from fiber. And fiber is in whole grains, but whole grains are actually not the main source of fiber. Right. There's more fiber in fruit, and even more than that in vegetables, and even more than that in the bean group. So beans, peas, and lentils. So let's say you take my book, The Power Foods Diet, and you open it up to the page that has a veggie lentil soup. Oh, it's delicious, it's warming, it's familiar, everybody loves it, but it's a calorie trapper also. Or you might take my French toast. Now you might think, wait a minute, French toast, how can that be a slimming food? I mean, it's America's favorite breakfast, and we're all gaining weight. Well, here's how we made our French toast. There are 3 spices that are metabolism boosters. Hot peppers, yes, you knew that already. Ginger and cinnamon.
Oh, cinnamon.
Now, so let's say I take cinnamon. I'm going to put it on the French toast that I made. And blueberries contain anthocyanins that are metabolism boosters too. So I'm making French toast. It's not all glopped up with cream or butter. And I add some cinnamon, I add some blueberries. Those are power ingredients. And they tend to cause a metabolism boost after the meal that'll last for about 3 hours or 4 hours after the meal. Wow. So what I'm doing is I'm calorie trapping during the meal. After the meal, I'm doing a metabolism boost. But the point here is if you don't like the food, you're not going to do it. So that's why I'm going to give you my French toast with blueberry syrup. And I'm going to give you my wild blueberry muffins. And I'm going to give you, at night, you and I are going to sit down together, and I'm going to make you pasta arrabbiata if you want it. Arrabbiata, that's Italian for, it means angry in Italian. But to a chef, it means sort of moderate spice. Or afterwards, carrot cake. Blueberry brownies. Yeah, it's amazing. The foods, yes.
You know that.
Well, that's the whole point, is up until now. Tell me, Kathryn, is this not true? People thought to lose weight, I have to suffer. To lose weight, I have to not eat. To lose weight, I have to say no to things I love. I've got to stop eating carbohydrate. I've got to go to the gym for 3 hours. Something has to hurt in order to benefit. Stop that way of thinking. The reason I want to stop that way of thinking is not just that it sounds so darn Calvinist, but because if it hurts, you're not going to continue. And if you don't continue, you're going to regain the weight. So it has to be something that works for you. And so when we found the power foods, and I mentioned
a bunch cover of the book, Doctor, please.
Okay. Well, here is the cover of the book.
Oh, wow.
And now, I have to say, Dustin Harder did all the recipes. Well, Dustin Harder and Lindsay S. Nixon did the recipes. But then Dustin did the food photography. And when he sent me this, I have to say, I said, Dustin, this is about 2 inches away from food porn. And he said, you know, you're right. The whole idea is to show people that you can enjoy the foods once and for all. Just delicious things. So it's called the Power Foods Diet. And the whole idea is there are foods you love that maybe don't love you back. There are foods you can love that will love you back and will take that weight off. So let's say I am going to reach a milestone later this year and I want to knock off a certain amount of weight myself. Let's say, oh, this is what I want to do. Here is how a person does that. Take this book and take 7 days. Over the next 1 week, over the next 7 days, look through it and see which foods you like. You'll know very quickly, but make a list of breakfasts, lunches, dinners, and think about outside this book. I'm going to guide you to the healthiest restaurants because you eat at restaurants. Let's say it's an Italian restaurant, or Chinese restaurant, or Japanese, or Mexican, whatever it is. What are the items at the restaurant that are power foods? I will show you. Within a week, you'll know. Now, step 2, 3 weeks. 3 weeks, I'm going to take your hand. You and I are going to jump in the deep end together. For the next 3 weeks, I'm going to make you a vegetarian for 3 weeks. Why? Because I mentioned, about the calorie trapping effect of fiber. Meat doesn't have any calorie trapping effect. Salmon is going to break your heart. Salmon does not cause weight loss at all. It sounds healthy. It doesn't work when it comes to weight loss. So I'm going to throw out the animal products. I'm going to keep oils really low, but only 21 days. And during those 21 days, we're going to emphasize the power foods. And after 21 days, stand on the scale. And what you'll discover is even though you haven't limited calories at all, and you haven't restricted carbohydrate at all, you've lost weight. If you have diabetes or high cholesterol, those numbers are all getting better. Your doctor is saying, I don't know what you're doing, but just keep doing this. Something is working. It's the power foods are getting you healthier. And then at the end of 3 weeks, you also discover your tastes have been modified because you haven't had any greasy food for 21 days. 21 days is a magic number to change the channel on your taste buds. So you now prefer a lighter taste. And then you discover the week after that, you are naturally drawn to power foods. You know what they are, and you discover the weight loss proceeds, bing, 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 week after week, automatically. You are not limiting calories. You are not limiting carbohydrates. You are not exercising more than normal, but the weight loss will continue.
I got to tell you, I got to have the book because my goal, and I'd love to use your recipes on my cooking show if you would allow me to do that.
Please.
Okay,
Please do.
sure. But
yes,
I have a question for you. I usually eat, it's a different kind of bread. I make my own bread, by the way, as well. But I think you probably have recipes like that in the actual cookbook or the book, which has a cook part to it as well. Am I correct?
there are about 130 recipes, a little bit more than that. Yeah.
Yes.
And they're categorized in 3 categories. Most of them are what we call easy. So you get in the kitchen, you get out of the kitchen, really easy to do.
Right.
Another third are called convenient. And that's for a person for whom easy is not good enough. It's like, just open a jar, show me what to buy so that I just mix stuff together and I don't cook at all. Those are the convenient ones. And then the third group is called elegant. They're still easy, but this is the French toast with the mint leaf or the little bit of confectioner's sugar, or 3 little trays of different berries. It's still easy, it's still quick, but the whole idea is your friends have come over, it's Sunday brunch, you want to make it look like you've been really working hard, but I'm gonna show you how to make it elegant without a lot of work.
Right. I know. And that's the way I think about, things, because when I have people come to our cooking show as well. And I teach people how to cook. And I'm not a culinary chef, but I've been cooking since I was like 7 years old. So anyhow, I cannot wait to see the book. I'm going to send you my book, which is the Spy series. And I can't wait to try this because as we grow older, people think it's harder to lose weight. But it's really not if you're smart enough to take Dr. Neal Barnard's new diet plus his new book, and you can really become a lot healthier. And I think we as Americans just, when we go out, we think, and there's certain things I can't eat. I can't eat garlic. I can't eat a lot of different things. So I've made my own spices and lots of other things to accommodate with my health. So
the only thing I do have a request
yes.
that if you have a power foods diet, please, there's really important information in here that can help people even save their lives. So my request is share it with somebody else, or make extra. I've got a carrot cake recipe in here. Share my carrot cake. The whole idea is to share this information and healthful taste so that other people know what you know. If we work together, I think we can change the world.
I think we can change the world one day at a time. I lived overseas in Turkey, Spain, England, and Singapore, and I learned all the different things about all the diets that are out there. So this is exciting for me because I really can't wait to try it. And I will definitely put it on everywhere I have. And I
Well,
know
I
you
can't
can
wait.
handle that, right?
Let me know when you're in Washington, DC.
Oh,
Assuming
I
that
will.
assuming we're still here, I'd love to
That's
see
true. That's true. We're still here on this earth.
it.
But, and what I'd like to do, doctor, is send you my book, which is Elizabeth Bromwell. And it's the case of the Chinese leopard. And it is a series that my son and I have written. And I'm very excited about it. So, but both my boys are diabetics, and they're always looking for something really new. And this will really change their life. And it's a gift that I can give them that keeps on giving, correct?
This is the approach that we use not just for weight loss, but in 2003, NIH gave us a grant to test this approach for type 2 diabetes. We just finished a new study on type 1. We use these foods for diabetes, and it is better than any other approach. Now, don't throw your medicines away and don't cancel your doctor's appointment because people sometimes need medical care. Do let your doctor know you're changing your diet because the diet change is powerful. It will reduce the amount of medications that people need very often. But this is good. The reason I emphasize that is this approach is not just good for taking off the weight. It's good for improving diabetes. It's good for improving cholesterol. It's good for improving blood pressure. It's good for people who've got migraines or arthritis. Not everybody gets better, but many people do. So let's put the power of foods to work.
I can't wait to try it. I can't wait to try it on my husband, who needs
There you go.
weight, and he has high blood pressure and a few other things. So I think that'll help him a lot.
Well, he's lucky to have you.
I'll spread your word, believe me. Thank you so very much. I've been really honored to talk to you, and I'm going to ask your publisher, and not your publisher, but your publicist to send me your book, if you don't mind.
Absolutely. They should have done it already.
Well, I can't wait. And can you give your website, doctor, if you don't mind?
Yes, it's PCRM.org. That stands for Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine, PCRM.org.
I can't thank you enough for being patient with me today. And thanks so much for joining me today.
Thank you. It's been my pleasure. Thank you so much.
And don't forget to go to our website at KathrynRaakersWorld.com and also Let'sJustTalk.com and the Chef You and I. See you soon.